see a few high thin clouds beginning to push in now, but those clouds will be slowly increasing a bit throughout the day for today. I think most of the rain is going to hold off till probably late tonight, maybe even after the midnight hour, and you'll also see some rumbles of thunder, kind of on the edge of the marginal risk of seeing severe thunderstorms with this. So more than anything else, I think we'll get some gusty winds and the thunder and lightning with it. Tomorrow you'll wake up to some of that wet weather, and then the rain will be diminishing throughout the day. As we take a look at the big picture, here you can see the main threat of severe thunderstorms from the orange area from parts of Missouri all the way down into Texas, but it's the darker red area that we're most concerned about. And we've got a Torcon now of a number 3 for northeast Texas and southeastern parts of Oklahoma, so about a 30% chance that you could see some severe weather within about 50 miles of your home. Here's the latest satellite and radar picture. Notice not a lot of action going on now, maybe a couple of sprinkles, but we think that showers and thunderstorms will be developing as we head into the late afternoon and early evening hours. So Dallas, I'm really looking at a window maybe between about 12 o'clock and the evening hours. And Houston, there you can see that moving in the overnight and early morning hours for tomorrow. This will be spreading off to the east, hoping to bring a little relief across parts of the southeast, dealing with some of those wildfires, but it looks a little bit on the paltry side as it moves there. Showers and thunderstorms will be impacting your travel, I-40, I-10, as well as I-55. A big picture of all the fires that are burning across parts of the southeast in 8 different states as we speak. There you can see 29 total large fires that are at least 100 acres or more, and they have burned more than 100,000 acres. It's just been incredible, but crews, despite the winds, have been able to contain some of these fires and at least not let those fire lines advance. But this may be a problem, and some of that smoke could affect your travel. So here's what we're expecting across the southeast. We've had such dry air in place along with those breezy conditions. Dew points yesterday were in the single digits and teens across parts of the southeast. Today it's going to be extremely dry as well. Temperatures generally in the 50s and lower 60s across the region. We are watching that cold front coming in from the west. That's not going to reach us anywhere near here for tonight as temperatures dip down into the 40s and 50s, or low about 44 in Atlanta. Raleigh down below the freezing mark when you wake up tomorrow. So that rain is going to try and make its way into our region. Our latest computer model forecast here showing you in the next week there's a chance we could get a little bit of precipitation, rainfall moving in here up to an inch in the light green area, slightly heavier off towards the west, but drought breeds drought, and this could be a little bit overdone. So it's something that we're watching and certainly all hoping to get a little bit of that rain pushing in here to help improve conditions. They've had a lot more rain across parts of the west compared to what we've had into the southeast. Take a look at that. Los Angeles, more than an inch of rainfall, and there you can see well less than an inch across the southeast. Birmingham, 1/100th of an inch. That's since October 1st, and you can see Atlanta at best 1/1600th of an inch of rainfall. So it's really a dire situation. All those fuels are extremely dry. So here's the forecast the next couple of days. Atlanta looking like you're going to get clouds. At least humidity will come up a little bit. That helps a touch. Unfortunately, best chance of rain isn't going to really move into our area. It's going to stay maybe into central parts of Tennessee.
It's necessarily a good thing for all the holiday travelers. So let's take a look at some of the big interstates that you'll be traveling on, starting with Interstate 85. Now this runs through big cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, Durham. Now the good news is on the south edge of this, we're not really looking at too many issues. In fact, Montgomery 75, partly cloudy skies, actually a relatively nice forecast for the day Wednesday. So if you have some travel plans, you should be okay. If you're headed north in the direction, say, of Atlanta, it should be pretty nice as well. You just hope that there aren't too many cars out there. But overall, we're talking about some passing clouds, temperature of about 68. So again, it's not going to be all that bad. Now you may have to contend with some of those hazy skies as that wind direction begins to shift. But so far, it looks like for most of these areas, it's going to be a south wind, which really kind of alleviates most of that smoke. Once you get to Charlotte, we've got the sun and clouds, but by late into the evening Wednesday night, we might start to see at least a small chance for some of those showers. Raleigh, same thing. By the evening hours, you could be looking at some potential rain. So if you have your travel plan, say Wednesday night, that's when you're going to be dealing with some of those big travel problems in the southeast. Now, here's a look at Thanksgiving Day. That front moves up, so really more of your issue is going to be New York. We're talking Boston, Syracuse, Buffalo. We've also got some issues in the Midwest. We're talking Minneapolis, also into Bismarck, and then out to the west. We're going to be looking at Seattle and Portland, looking at the potential for some inclement weather.
To the northeast, Winter Storm Argus led to rescues and dangers that some unfortunately could not overcome. The potent storm is now linked to 6 deaths.
It also caused a frightening bus accident in New York. Ana Rodriguez brings.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Moved on over to the lab here to be with our storm specialist Carl Parker, and we are talking tropics. We've got Otto, nearly a hurricane now.
Very nearly a hurricane, 70-mile-per-hour wind. There's an eye developing right now. It's not moving very much, but we think it is going to work to the west, and it's expected to become a hurricane and then move into either Costa Rica or Nicaragua here, and that's going to be most likely on Thursday, and then it will come across the central part of America and move out in the Eastern Pacific and likely weekend after that. So, you know, it is unusual, that's for sure.
How unusual? I mean, this is pretty late in the season to get something developing, especially in the Western Caribbean.
So on average, it happens about every several years that we see something happening in this area. That having been said, if you look at November formation areas, it's generally right in here. So there is a hot spot.
Okay.
And part of that is that you've got such warm water down there right now. Water temperatures are in the middle 80s.
That's
so
crazy.
That's certainly not holding anything back. And here's a look at the advisories that are in place. Hurricane watches now from southeastern Nicaragua and across the coast of Costa Rica, and it's going to be pretty rough there, most likely, as we get a Category 1, maybe even Category 2 storm coming in.
So this is kind of a compact storm system. This really isn't that large, is it?
No, it's not, and you can see if you look closely there, you can see that there's a little bit of a depression in the cloud right in there, and so that is where the eye wall is trying to develop right now, and this is called microwave imagery. This is the next best thing to radar when you don't have a real good radar coverage. And you notice here that through a lot of this imagery, this is going back several hours, you see that there's an eye wall that's trying to get going on the southeast side, but in the last image, you see it kind of wrapping more around. So there is very much a developing eye wall there. It's definitely getting more organized right now.
So what's the biggest concern? Heavy rainfall?
Well, it's going to be very strong wind right where that eye wall comes into the coast, and there will be a water level rise as well. And then also a lot of heavy rain. You've got a lot of mountainous terrain down there. You look at water temperatures, and they're very warm. You know, it's interesting because it's a stationary storm, and so you'd be thinking, well, maybe it's churning up a lot of water, bringing up some cooler water from below. Right. But in fact, the water temperatures that are warm enough extend down 100 meters, 300 feet or more.
Wow,
yeah.
Incredible. All right, we'll check back in with you in a little bit. We'll head back to you.